Yo, what is up, Knights? Aegis Rick here with the update brought to us on April 5th, 2016. As stated in DFO's latest official X stream, much more comprehensive changes regarding gameplay are coming in a couple of weeks, such as an increased level cap and anti-normals. But to hold us over, we've been given various events and an update that was extremely long overdue. An overhaul to the cash and mileage shop, but that's really just the icing on the cake to all the things that this update brought. So without further ado, let's cover this deceptively thorough update. So let's get this out of the way first, since I personally list it of the highest importance out of all of the changes, the new and improved cash shop. Jumping straight in like it's Black Friday, I'm trampling over everyone to go straight to the avatars. They're here! As far as it seems, there are 4 new avatars, each with 4 recolors for each class. Some of them, like the ones here for Priest, are some of the best that I've seen so far, so give them all a look. For those into Dress Up Fight Online, we've got a lot of new ammunition for mixing and matching for each class. Well, each class except Knight, that is. No, seriously, what is this bullshit? Almost every class in the game has like 6 pages of stuff, and Knight's still sitting here with 2. What the fuck? Anyway, Neopol's pretty comfortable with giving Knight the shaft, so I'll avoid feeling too much envy about it. As far as the rest of this page go, there is nothing changed, albeit there is a lot added. We've got entirely new consumables in the cash shop, which mostly serve as functional items for our equipment. We've now got golden candles, which are used to resell any item which is labeled as unsealed, allowing the item to become tradable once again. Transcendence stones, which we've seen multiple times in various events, let us put an untradeable item into our account vault to give it to our alts. There's also an Otherverse energy extinguisher, which allows you to remove the curse on any item which has dimensional energy on it. This is perfect for whenever you desperately do not want to deal with Clontar's amplification system. For healing, Remy is touching us again, this time with his sparkling touch, which works much like his regular touch, except now it also removes any abnormal statuses you may have as well. Almost all of these items mentioned are also sold in pouch form now, which can give you a randomly generated amount of each item within a range. As far as my experiences with these kinds of things goes, it might be more cost effective just to purchase the items you'd like outright, but that's on you to decide. There is a limited edition sale going on, purchasable once per account, that are starter and intermediate packages. The intermediate pack seems especially enticing, giving great items for your character, but also a unique title as well. One last thing that I thought was neat is that you can purchase with gold a week-long cube contract. As far as I see, this is a permanent feature, which is definitely a load off for whenever you want to inflict a particular element. Moving on, our consumable items of the month is the Gold and Sarah version of the Neo Premium Plus contract. But you may have noticed that we don't necessarily have an avatar item of the month anymore, and I can explain that. Neopol instead has stated that they no longer want to give us the avatar item of the month because instead they want players to purchase avatars directly using mileage. You can purchase timed versions of avatars for 15 mileage and then make them permanent using the permanent ticket, which is now being sold for 50. Not every avatar piece is in there, of course, but we've at least got a few select ones, which is pretty neat. If all this talk about avatars is making you nervous that you might not have enough space to put them all in, that is a legitimate concern. That is all but taken care of with the newly introduced mileage avatar expansion. You can increase your avatar slots by 7 on each use, and you can expand it up to 15 times to a maximum of 105 extra slots, which should be enough for most people. Mostly. Other items added to the mileage shop include leveling items like a 99% EXP capsule, which can be used once per level range for a free level, growth potions, and fatigue recovery pots. For other consumables, we have things like heartbeat megaphones and selectable silver emblem boxes. And whew! I think that about covers it for the cash shop. There was a lot of great things added in that have been desperately needed, and while most people will agree that a year is a little bit long to wait, at least it's finally come. And so now let's talk about all of the events that this update brought as well. The easiest event in this update, Daily Delivery, may also prove to be the most helpful for players given the great rewards. First off, every day you can sign in and claim these demon invites on one of your characters. Right now we're only getting 10, but we'll get progressively more as we get later on in the month. It's claimed that we get about 600 demon invites in total for the month, which is just a freebie, no work involved. There's also an event catalog with a bunch of different prizes as well. You'll simply need to clear 1 optimal level dungeon a day to claim the prize. Just keep in mind that this is not a calendar, however, and instead these rewards are cumulative, meaning if you want the grand prize here of the Golden Amplification Grimoire, you'll need to have gotten everything else beforehand. There's a lot of great stuff in here, including but not limited to inventory and safe expansions, all the contracts, interdimensional fragments, and all the available portable braziers. All this for 1 dungeon clear a day? you best believe it's worth it, guys. Dragon Road is back with Dragon Road 2. Dragon of Growth. Basically, you compete with 2 other players in a board game to get to the end of the Dragon Road. Along the way, you'll land on spaces that can give you gold, prizes, and unique weapons. Otherwise, you have to fight bosses or play minigames before you can progress. You get coins in accordance to your place on the board when somebody kills the final boss. It's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. As long as they are past level 20, each character can enter the Dragon Road a total of 5 times at no cost of FP. Now, the first Dragon Road event was kind of a mess. It was abusable for a period and people maybe got a lot more than they should. It's clear that this time around the rewards have been toned down a bit and are focused around leveling your character by giving you EXP pills and level up tickets. The prizes you can get on the unique weapon spaces give you a random unique weapon for your class scaled to your level up to level 80. It's a very simple way to get a unique weapon if you don't have one already. The prize for killing the final boss is a box that generates a random unique weapon up to level 70 again for your class, and lastly a box that has a reinforcement ticket that can instantly make your gear reinforced to +10 at a certain percentage. The Halidome rental event is about as straightforward and self-explanatory as it gets. Much like the Otherverse rental service a few weeks ago, you can temporarily rent out Halidome grade armors by opening up this screen. It's clear that you have to get a certain number of dungeon clears before you unlock more pieces of armor, but once you do it once, you don't need to worry about it anymore and you can rent them every day afterwards. These optimal dungeon clears are account bound and serve to unlock full Halidome sets for level 60, 70, and 80 respectively. Definitely nice and easy to accomplish in order to give these sets to any alts that you may have been too lazy to gear. I certainly already have some guys in mind. The DFO 101 event is a leveling event focused only around a newly created character. And yes, I've tested it, it only works on your first newly made character. This character gets a series of Matryoshka dolls. You're allowed to open them every 5 levels to get various prizes. This goes all the way up until level 60. There are seriously dope prizes in there, including but not limited to a never before seen oriental looking avatar set, which by the way is selectable and tradable, inventory and safe expansions, all 4 contracts for 15 days, Neo Premium Basic for 7, you get most of the items for your first Awakening advancement, and much more. This is a great event for newly created characters, and shoot, I'll probably abuse it just for the avatars and contracts. So I've waited until the end to discuss yet another controversial event, the We Want You event. Let me give a brief synopsis of the event, then we'll discuss why everyone's talking about it. Obviously, We Want You is considered a promotional event with the Uncle Sam propaganda posters and all that, but I think it's a little bit of a misnomer. I like to think of it as a buddy up event, because that's exactly what you'll be doing. You select one other player to be your buddy for the entire event period. However, once you make this selection, it cannot be changed, so make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into. Logging in, doing daily quests, and doing dungeons will get you points that can be used in the event shop. You'll be able to get the maximum allotted daily points faster if you party up with your buddy and clear dungeons together. However, that is not necessary, and in fact you can even complete near everything without your buddy's assistance at all. But here are just some of the prizes you can get, and obviously there's a lot of stuff in here. On the surface, this seems like a pretty straightforward event, but it's not. And that's where I'm sure the controversy comes from. There's a ton of considerations you have to make before you go and select your buddy. There are bonuses for partying with certain types of players, and depending on what state your account is, you can get different prizes. A lot of people didn't realize you can only get 200 points a day from FP. However, you can get 400 a day, but only if you're an existing player partied up with a returning player, but the returning player doesn't get those extra 200 points. Some of the prizes are Ninja Nerf versions of the originals, and what? It's by no means a bad event like the god-awful Devil's Task of old. No, in fact, this event is very good with amazing rewards. The controversy comes from the fact that it is extremely convoluted and not thoroughly explained enough on their event page. And I don't have enough time to do all that here. So instead, I'm going to do the sensible thing and link you not only to that event page, but a well-made FAQ here by RenegadeReaper on Reddit. Please check those out before diving in, otherwise you might regret it, because again, once you select your buddy, you are not allowed to change it. And well guys, that about covers the update for today, and man, just looking at the length of this video, there was a lot more than I anticipated, especially knowing that in a few weeks we are getting a huge update bringing things such as Anton normals and the level cap increase to 86. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so we'll discuss that in due time. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you knights later.